Dmitry Bivol, the boxer. Now, we've all seen these clips. We've all seen how he moves, how he likes to move in and out. He likes to slide in on a back foot jab here. Here, from the back foot, jab, 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 to get into position to throw the right hand. Now, he can connect with any of those punches and then move off the line. And then, we all know that he likes to throw the left hook after. Now, this is very, very, very important, okay? Because when you want to throw a power punch, you have to transition your weight, okay? You have to cross the line, and you have to change from one side of the line to the other, okay? Dmitry Bivol accomplishes some of these goals by jumping off of the line, okay? Very rarely does Dmitry Bivol ever practice any striking, okay? Now, we're going to take a look at a clip here real quick, but again, making sure that most of the time after he throws his left hand, he can pull himself off the line, penduluming backwards. Now, this clip here is going to be what we want to focus on today. This little clip here, he's going to shoot that shot. He's going to pull back off the line. He's going to pendulum step off the line and put himself in position to throw this left hook here, okay? Now, he moves forward, and he pendulum steps forward, and he throws this shot here. Can anyone tell me why this is so interesting? Anyone in the comments? Anyone? Oh, no? Okay, well, it's because Dmitry Bivol doesn't ever do this in his fights, okay? He never does this. Not this part here, right? Pendulum step off the line, boom. Actually, we're going to take a look at a clip like that right here. But here is Joe Smith Jr. chasing him. He catches him with the right hand. His weight's on the front foot. He just pendulum stepped backwards and then found himself in position to throw this left hook. Now, we're going to take a look at it again. Boom, boom, right? Same move, right? He's moving, running away, chooses a position on the front foot, leaps into this left hook, right? Now, notice he doesn't really get his weight to the back foot, okay? He's kind of up in the middle of the air. It looks like he's maybe got like a left hook position where he's getting his weight to the back foot, and he's got a back foot footwork pattern, but he's not on the other side of his target either, right? This is mostly a Wing Chun, I don't want to say, be mean to Bivol, but a slapping punch, okay? Now, you can still generate a lot of force if you get the rest of your body mechanics going, and this is a punch he does like to jump into, okay? Jumping into this shot. He has a variety of places where he uses it to enter the line as well, but he doesn't ever use the other one to go forward. And we're going to take a look at some video evidence of that. Here he is sparring this guy, and he's just lighting him up. Real easy stuff, right? Just controlling him. The video says that it's him sparring for Canelo, but that's bullshit, because how long have they been assigned to fight? Now, take a look at this overhand right. Do we ever really see him throwing this punch? Or practicing that punch? We don't really see him practice that punch, okay? Very, very important, all right? That's why it sucks, okay? That's why he doesn't get a lot of knockouts, but there's other things too, all right? We're going to connect some dots in a minute, but here he is, putting it on this guy. Here's his drill, boom, boom, and he jumps off the line with the left hook, boom, boom. Pendulum a little bit, right into the cross to control, into the body shot, into the left hook, slapping, pulls his weight off the line, okay? Again, pulling his head off the line with slapping hook, not penduluming with this move, not moving forward. Oh, was that the shot that I was just talking shit about? A little bit, right? It was kinda. But here he is in position, right? He's in perfect position. He just caught the guy with a shot. Boom, boom. But this part is very important, okay? And this is one of the biggest problems with Dmitry Bivol. He doesn't actually use that left hook there, the one that he practiced on the bag there, to leap forward onto his opponents, okay? He does a little bit. But he doesn't actually take pendulum steps to get the angle on them to fight them. Whoops. He doesn't pendulum step on them, and you can't even see the guy's feet over here, this way, to take the angle on them. He doesn't circle around them. Now, if they chase him, he can pendulum step backwards, as we saw in that video, but because of the fact that Dmitry Bivol always practices his left hook the same way, okay, there we go, to go back to the back foot, boom, here, right, and here he is. We're going to take a look a little bit tighter, a look at this clip as well in a second, but where's that left hook? A little bit of stepping forward here, but when he throws the left hook, to bring his weight back, right? Not throwing that shot and penduluming forward, not getting a really deep pendulum cross. And because of the fact that he always gets on the line 1, 2, and then looks to throw that hook at that 3 and come off, and again, it looks a little bit different on the heavy bag because of the fact, here he is throwing that jab, and look at him move off the line. He throws a jab from the back foot here, okay? Crosses the line with the right hand, boom. And now he throws the left hand to come back, okay? Sometimes he does the left hand to the body and then the left hook upstairs. Sometimes he just goes 1, 2, and then comes back with the 1. But it always pushes him towards the back half of his line. Now, we're going to take a look at another little place where he practices this, okay? And we can see forward, so look at him throwing the hook. Now, it looks a little bit different in shadow boxing because he doesn't have to worry about picking the bag up, right? He doesn't have to worry about hitting it and showing that he's, oh, I've got good technique, I hit hard, okay? And because of that, we can see his natural course of motion, right? To throw the hook and not bring his weight into his target, right? But to allow him to jump off the line. Now, he doesn't practice his striking, okay? Now, I want to show you a clip again in this video. I think it's here, 11:25. He's practicing combinations again, right? No, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. Okay, you want to practice your combinations, you want to practice. We fight how we train. He fights like this. We've seen it. He does the same thing over and over and over again. He has a few different patterns, a few different ways to apply it, which is great. It's his art. But we see that he doesn't practice just throwing his power punches, right? We can see that even in this routine, okay, even in this routine, he's still maintaining that right hand, stepping forward with it, and throwing the left hook so he can shift off the line with it, okay? Still not transferring his weight. And we can see him doing the same drill here, jumping forward, jumping back with the left hook, right? When you jump with that left hook, you're supposed to push forward onto your opponent, okay? Again, throwing that jab and then coming off the line, throwing the hook, penduluming off the line with that one there. But we're going to take a look, actually, now, real quick, at some Bevel jabbing, okay? Now, again, a few of the problems with Bivol's boxing. He doesn't practice his striking. So he doesn't actually get his weight all the way to the front foot in his striking on the front foot or the back foot. So he practices everything in the middle, okay? So here he is approaching the line. And we all know that in order to get a really good cross, you want to bring your rear shoulder forward, get your weight toward the front foot, and then you're going to blast out of that position. And you're going to cross the line, transition your weight, and change position as best you can to drive as much weight into your opponent's face as you can. Bivol Bivol is able to access the ability to cross his opponent's line by stepping into it the punch, okay? Now, the problem with always practicing your striking like this is you wind up having long periods of time in the fight where you're always bouncing forward and backwards or stepping with your punches or, you know. But notice, he can't really sneak into this position, right? I know that he's quick. Joe Smith is not quite as quick because who in the world is better at this style than Bivol? Probably nobody ever. But because of those flaws, number one, Bivol can't put pressure on his opponents, okay? He's not able to get his head to the front foot and really chase you down, drag his weight to the back foot, and throw a big pendulum shot, right? He doesn't know how to use his weight transitions to cover massive amounts of ground or get around his opponent. So, as Joe Smith Jr. here is going from the back foot and trying to come to the front foot, right? He's trying to look at his posture when he's off the line with him versus when he's trying to get on, right? Trying to edge in from the back foot, right? Trying to draw an attack there so he can attack over Bivol's jab. But out here, he's like, okay, I can get on the line a little bit. And now he starts coming. And he's like, okay, got to get back into my position. And he takes a step off the line. He's like, okay, I got to reset a little bit. And now he's going to try to pendulum onto Bivol, right? So he's trying to get into his rhythm step, right? I don't know if you guys have heard that term, but he's trying to get into, and again, he's probably just not he's missing some stuff, Mr. Joe Smith, some positional stuff that would make him be able to defend here. But he's trying to move off so that he can get onto the line with some speed, with some momentum, right? He's trying to rush Bivol and try to, force it, but he's getting caught moving off the line. Again, this is like an American thing. People in his country probably don't do that because they can throw their punches from any angle or whatever. But he's, again, approaching the line from the back foot and coming from back foot and trying to get onto the front foot, right? And Bivol's attacking him. But is Bivol ever making it to the front foot himself? As we can clearly see from this clip here, right? Here, controlling with the lead hand. You can't cross the line right here, I'll just punch you. You can't cross the line right here, I'll just punch you. And then just jumping in. But notice how he doesn't get his weight across to the front foot to be able to throw a really powerful cross, right? He has to go in and out just like he does on the heavy bag, just like he does on the mitts, just like he does in his shadow boxing. Now, we're going to take a look real quick at, I think we're going to take a look at, yes. So here's what Kovalev can do better than Bivol, because we've all seen this style before, straight punches galore, right? But this is something here that Bivol actually cannot do, right? So he's getting here on the front foot, probing right hand, and now once he gets there, he's shooting a left cross here, and off of this left cross, when his weight's all the way on the front foot, he's able to disguise his pendulum step. And look at how he's able to open Canelo up right there with those two straight shots. Front foot, boom, boom, pendulum. And get to the back foot and really get some weight into that overhand right. Okay? This is something that Bivol cannot do. Okay? So that might make it difficult for him to wind up hurting someone like Canelo and closing the fight out, even if he does wind up hurting him. Even if. Okay? Now, because of this, even though Bivol can get on the line really quick, he can't really pursue you really quick, right? Because of his style. He also doesn't get a lot of power in his punches. So he's just landing punch after punch after punch. But this is something that he cannot do. Put pressure on you. Okay? So, we're going to take a look real quick at... Where's that clip? It's such a great clip, too. Dimitri Bivol. It says schooling Jean Pascal, okay? Now, this was a dominant performance from Bivol, right? Against a guy who's got a bunch of losses, a tough guy, He's got a decent chin, right? And like if you look back at Bivol's fights, it's not like he's not knocking out guys that other people are really knocking out. I know Kovalev has 2 stoppages over Jean Pascal, but that's a very important idea too, okay? Kovalev, a very front-footed, aggressive fighter, right? Come forward, aggressive fighter, versus Bivol, who's a very back foot, defensive style fighter, right? Now, he's defensive, but he can't slip punches. He can't even really block them, right? Look at him getting clobbered by this shot, right? Rounded punches are going to be one of the worst things for Bivol's style, okay? He probably practices, again, when we talk about the dichotomy of American versus like Russian style, straight punches, lots of straight punches, a lot of speed, right? I imagine that it becomes much more prevalent, especially early in your career, to get attached to straight punches, because anytime you spar anyone who has more experience than you, their technique is just leaps and bounds ahead of yours, even if they're not that good, and they just embarrass you, right? So you got to rely on straight punches to get on the line, and people just, Anyway, it turns into a style, but it doesn't. I don't know if Bivol had to worry about a lot of power punchers, okay, or a lot of rounded punching, and that's a big problem for him. Now we're gonna take a look. I thought it was pretty close to here, but this sequence here, Bivol is gonna land an incredible amount of punches, and this is a straight sequence here. This is continuous. He is just landing punch after punch after punch. Notice, left hook. He jumps off the line. He's not penduluming onto Pascal. He's not taking an angle and then finding big power punches while he's close. He's finding ways to keep the distance between himself and his opponent. And he wasn't able to stop this guy from, just kind of going apeshit against him and throwing these just massive haymakers, even after such a massive flurry, even after such a bunch of, decently landed punches, that if you were Bivol, you're like, yeah, man, I did a good job right there. And again, the defense, right? Where's the defense on the inside? He's sitting in one position. He's trying to have his high guard do all the work, but he doesn't practice position 1 and position 2. He practices fighting only in the middle of his line, and then you're not going to be able to block all those punches. You're not going to be able to pick the angle of those punches. You're not going to understand where the line is because you're not creating any angles. Everything that he's doing, right? This is exactly what you tell someone like this not to do. Don't square up with your opponent if you're the boxer. And he's squaring up with his shoulders, right? Now he's here, just on the line, when he wants to be boxing here, right? I mean, he kind of boxes with his rear shoulder pretty close to the line anyway, because he's so quick. Now again, right after that shot. 1, 2, 3. Look at the position his opponent's in, right? Wouldn't it have been great if he could have pendulumed on him? And then started setting up bigger shots, or maybe a right hand to the body, or get into position to actually land a left hook to the body. But again, Bivol can't really pendulum forward. He doesn't have the technique or the skills. So, where does this put us? Okay, where does that put us in the fight? Okay, so number one, I just want to show this clip. This is one of my favorite clips of Bivol training. Super good here. Turn the sound up, and I want you to pay attention to something very important, okay? Very important. Pity patter, right? All the way up until he gets to the left hook to the head and the left hook to the body, right? He's planted for these punches. For the jab, he's stepping. For the right hand, he's stepping. He's getting into position. Boom, boom. He's doing the Russian bouncing, right? Pop, pop. Nothing wrong with that as a training drill, right? But you got to know how to boom. And then instead of jumping with your transition, jumping with your weight transition, right? Or stepping and sliding with it, you can just throw a punch, okay? Now, if you guys want to learn how to step and slide, the easiest ways to learn, guaranteed to learn, check out the Fouts Boxing Shadow Boxing. It'll teach you your first seminar, teach you how to build speed and power, and teach you the fundamentals of punching, and help you build your first shadow boxing routine. Learn the core ideas behind your shadow boxing, what you're trying to go for long term, and it's really cool. And if you're interested, right now it's going to be going on sale with promo code 30 with 30% off. Check it out. So if you're new to boxing, or even if you're not a beginner, right, you're going to learn some things in the first few boxing seminars that you've never heard anywhere else and you'll never hear again. That'll help you with your punch technique, okay? That'll change the way that you think about punching. But also, again, as you go through, you'll see that you'll learn how to step and slide and get onto the line so that you can actually learn to strike, okay? Learn to use your striking in a fight, okay? Because you have to get on the line with your opponent first. Bivol is excellent at that. But once he's there, he's only doing moves that get him on and off the line. No actual striking, right? I know he's punching the dude, I know. But there's a reason why he doesn't knock anybody out. He doesn't transition his weight all the way to the front foot ever. He doesn't transition his weight all the way to the back foot ever. And the only time he practices that, right? Again, listen to these striking, right? That left hook is just way better. That left hook is just way better because everything here is bounce, 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 bounce. Left hook to the body, whack. He's planted, he gets the strike off. And he just doesn't have a time in his routine where he practices just that, okay? But watching him on the heavy bag is just beautiful. It's so much fun. Now, I want to address another idea, too, about his routine. We don't know how good he is at this, okay? We don't really know, all right? Probably very few people have seen him really work a bag, really work it, okay? Because you can put whatever you put out there, but when you're doing your best, you're working your hardest, you're doing your best moves, and you're just in the zone, people are probably not recording that, right? It's just him just working, chilling, his chilling pace, right? So, where does that leave us with Bivol? Well, a few problems with Bivol's style. Number one, we saw him jump on from the back line, right? Back foot, back foot, back foot, right hand, right? Well, here's him doing that, getting controlled, and here he is jumping. Take a look at that lead foot kind of stepping in, right? Because he has to step a little bit with that jab. He gets a piece of it, of Smith, but Smith gets a real big piece of him, and he kind of wobbles when he makes his weight back to the front foot here. But he catches him with a really nice shot. Okay, I don't know if we're ever going to see anyone ever catch anyone with a shot like that ever again. But maybe Canelo can figure something out, right? Maybe Canelo's, had some similar success in his career. But stepping with your punches, if you have to get your weight, you have to commit, right? Now, if it's one thing if he commits from one side of the line and then throws it and jumps in with the left and then gets his head to the other side because he can bait a shot here and here, but you're not baiting a shot from here, right? His head gets stuck on the line and he gets walked into a punch right there. Now, another thing, one of the most important things about this fight, one of the most important things, Bivol is not a lead hand control fighter. All right, he has a little bit of lead hand control here, right here, and then stuffs that jab, right? He's trying to catch your jab with the rear hand. He's trying to punch you in the face with the lead hand. But he's not feinting and probing nearly enough. He's hoping that this style, right, getting to the line and then catching you crossing, right? Because he's waiting for your weight to come to him is going to be enough. And we can see in this clip here he is waiting, okay? Now, look at what position he's in. He's trying to get to the front foot here so he can disguise his right hand, all right? So when that jab comes, he's parrying it, and look at his left leg. He's taking a step forward, okay? Getting onto the line, boom, smashing him with that shot, right? And then look at him throw that left hook. And you can bet that that left hook is helping him start sliding off the line, not pendulum onto his possibly injured foe, okay? Again, not following up on his shot. Look at him throw that shot and move away. There's no real offense from them. Now, what happens to people who don't feint and probe and control the space? Does anybody know what happens? Those people usually get knocked out. Okay? Now, Canelo fighting Kovalev. Kovalev, a master at lead hand control, rear hand control, beautiful. Gets feinted here. He's able to draw a right-hand counter and attack him and draw him into a right-hand counter and then counter his counter and get his head off the line. And this is through lead hand control, okay? With someone like Bivol, if he's going to be sitting on the line here, he's going to be very susceptible to thinking that, oh, that's a left-hand feint. Left hook to the body, left hook to the head, right? Tries to get his head over here and kind of walks into this shot. Maybe he thought it was going to be a jab, right? Maybe he thought it was going to be a jab here. And he's going to be able to counter over the top, right? Very likely what he thought. It doesn't matter. Even with lead hand control, Canelo was able to set a trap like this against a super good fighter. Kovalev is a very, very talented fighter. Less than a minute into the round, okay? Less than a minute into round one. So, Bivol, thinking that he's going to be able to sit on the line here and wait for someone like Canelo without controlling the space, without controlling his opponent, without getting him to react to something, just, out of his own free will, I think that Bivol's going to get caught. Again, I don't even think Bivol, again, has the front foot capacity, really. I know we see him doing this, but this is after him taking a step, right? He steps here, boom. No power, right? He's not getting any power into that right hand. He's doing the move, but there's no power into that shot. How do you want to say this? Anyway. He's going to have a very difficult time executing techniques like this where he's waiting on the line, okay? Very difficult where he's waiting on the line being controlled, right? There's no lead hand control here, right? He's not looking to interact until he looks to punch, right? So, again, I think he's going to have a little bit of trouble there. And again, the boxing style, going in and out, is going to make him commit his weight to these back foot jabs because he doesn't know how to throw them as he does. We'll see, okay? We'll see. But without having control over the line, I think he's going to have a lot of trouble. Now, one of Canelo's best techniques here is this left hook here, okay? He comes forward with the left hook, the leaping left hook. He knocked Plant out with it. It was his best weapon. But Bivol throws his right hand, boom. And he's always looking to leave that position really quick. And because he doesn't get his head all the way to the front foot, it's all Wing Chun, step in, step out. This was his best weapon against Kovalev. Okay, he was able to catch him with this shot over and over and over and over. Again, Kovalev trying to pendulum on him right here, right? Boom. Tries to pendulum with the cross here, but he gets caught. Trying to set up probably a big overhand right like we saw earlier. But again, Bivol gets here, and after he gets here, he starts bringing his weight back to the back foot this way, throwing his left hook, okay? Or throwing the left hook to the body. But he doesn't look to move forward here. So I think that that means that this technique is not necessarily going to be super effective against Bivol, even though he uses it a lot, and he still may be able to use it to close the distance. Now, if Bivol sits on the line and tries to throw his left hook too, he will get caught, okay? And this will be a decent technique for him once Bivol starts opening up and throwing combinations. But in the beginning, if Bivol doesn't sit on the line, I don't think that this is going to be a very effective technique for him. I think that the right hand is going to be much more effective for Canelo. Until Bivol starts reacting too much to the right hand, and then it'll move back to probably the leaping left hook toward the end of the fight. But Canelo's really going to have to use his right hand. And as we saw in this video, this clip here, this is also another one of his best traps. Again, and I don't think that this one is going to be as effective because Bivol, when you pull counter him, he's already off the line, right? Look at that rhythm, right? Look at how, I don't want to say slow this is, because against your average fighter, this is super fast, right? This is really quick. But Bivol's head doesn't get to the front foot. It doesn't get to this position. He doesn't really move his head too much with the right hand. He does a little bit. Just a little bit, though. But not nearly as exaggerated as Kovalev, going from all the way over here to all the way over there, right? And then even over here. Okay, Bivol's looking to step off the line. Let's see. Any other clips in here? Well, we were going to talk a little bit about striking and stuff too, Canelo striking, because that's one of Canelo's biggest advantages, right? Is if Bivol has to step into his line, right? And then once he's in the line, Canelo can just throw the punches that he's practiced standing on the line, right? Pull countering, right? Like that video that we've seen like 1,000 times. Here's Canelo practicing that trap right here. Oh no. So again, the left hand might be a trap for Bivol. If he starts throwing the left hook, he may get caught by Canelo's a little bit slower left hand. But if he doesn't, I don't think he's going to have a problem with that at all. What were we going to look at? Canelo training, right? Canelo's traps. Striking drills, right? Striking, just practicing his punching, one position. Rolling under a shot and throwing into a 2-3-5. But striking, right? Strike, pull counter, right? When the shot comes, practicing his striking. Again, no boxing, just striking. Standing in one position, throwing all his punches. A little bit of boxing there. And striking, right? Over and over and over again, striking. I was hoping to find a clip of him doing the mitts with Eddie in there. But Canelo, again, struggling to get on the line with his opponent if he's the one that has to initiate. And he may get caught jumping in because that's one of his favorite things to do. But pretty good when you have to enter his line, okay? Pretty good as evidenced by someone like Khan, right? Being able to force him to interact. Again, Bivol likes to counter. He's able to be drawn in because that's one of his only ways of controlling the line, right? When you start coming forward, he has to hit you, right? That's the only time that he can because he's not able to pendulum forward onto you. Pendulum, right? Get his way to the front foot, pendulum off of his jab, and set up a right hand. So he has to wait for you to come to him, which means that situations like this may be very, very common actually in the fight. And while I initially thought that Bivol might have a really good chance of beating Canelo, I think he has a chance. You know, a chance. I think that even the striking is going to obviously favor Canelo, but I don't think that Bivol's going to be able to be as aggressive or score as often as he needs to be able to outpoint Canelo. And then I do think that, again, because he can't slip, he can't do this, he can't block punches either. Because you're not going to block a punch on the left side here and then sit in the middle of the line. You have to get to one side, right? Get off the line so that you can't be hit by the other punch. Because anytime you move to block one punch, you're not opening yourself up for another, right? But there's always holes. So I don't think that Bivol is going to be good enough at blocking stuff on the inside. I think that Canelo is going to be pretty good at maybe baiting those shots. But Bivol always has to come forward. Okay, and that's going to be a big problem for him. So we'll see how Bivol handles the timing, the traps, the skills that Canelo does have, and we'll see if Canelo finds any clever ways to get on the line with Bivol. Because if he can get on the line with Bivol in any clever ways, if he can get on the line consistently, Bivol's going to have a tough time in the fight, as we can saw with the Pascal fight. If you're just throwing big punches at him, all he has is Wing Chun. All he can do is go ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, right? Throw a bunch of punches real quick and try to catch you. But he doesn't actually get to practice his power punches a lot. And Canelo, being such a good striker, he's going to be able to take a punch. Okay, he's going to be able to take a big punch. And even though Bivol's going to be a much bigger guy, and I want to say, like, there's going to be a massive reach advantage for Bivol, okay? He practices his straight punches a lot. He knows his range. He's going to know when he's in range much more often than Canelo is with the straight punches. I got some videos to check out. So Canelo may struggle. He may struggle, and I think Bivol has 72-inch plus his step in, and Canelo has 70. So Canelo's timing is going to have to be really good because Bivol is so quick. Okay, he's so good at these moves. Man, I don't know. It might be an exciting fight. It's probably going to wind up being a lot of Bivol trying to run and trying not to let Canelo score with those big punches, and thinking that if he lands 10 or 11 jabs plus 4 or 5 pat right hands, he can beat out 5 or 6 Canelo's punches, and that won't be the case. So we'll see. Man, I wonder if Bivol can take a punch. I wonder if he can keep it up for 12 rounds. With Bivol's extreme lack of power, and I want to say extreme, especially in the face of having to hit someone like Canelo. Like, I know we've seen Canelo hurt one time against Miguel Cotto's brother, but have you seen him be hit and hurt by anyone else? Now, I don't know how true this is, but apparently he used to get beat up a lot at the Mayweather gym. They used to spar a lot, and they just put him in the doghouse, which would make a lot of sense. He's pretty damn tough, you know. So we'll see. I don't think that Bivol will be able to hurt him with one punch, but he may be able to disrupt his rhythm enough that he can drop him in pendulum, right? He can drop him when he pendulums on him or he jumps onto him. Maybe he can catch him in transition, but oh man, this is going to be interesting. I wonder how good the traps are going to be from Canelo, because what does Canelo do all day long in camp with Reynoso? Practice traps, right? He practices striking. So if Bivol is always going to be stepping, Canelo may be able to time him. Canelo's much faster. Much faster than he was here. Okay? Much quicker. We know Canelo's got a decent right hand here. Boom. So, yeah, this is gonna be an interesting fight. Really interesting fight. Yeah. Anyway, if you guys are interested and you guys want to know the best way to get on and off the line, I know I talked about my shadowboxing program. If you want to learn the basics, it's kind of entry level. It's not entry level. It's much better than that. Once you go back and rewatch it, you do that. You see what you're doing. It's actually really brilliant stuff. But it's on sale right now. Promo code 30% off. As well as my other packages are all 30% off. If you want to learn how to hit the mitts, If you don't know how to hit the mitts and you've never held the mitts before, and you've never been taught. I know you've punched the mitts before, but you've never been taught how to hit the mitts. Check out the mitts section. It's 30% off as well, with promo code 30 at checkout. But it'll teach you all the rules of the mitts. It'll teach you what to look for when you're watching other people do the mitts. You'll know whether they're doing things right, whether their drills are okay. But it'll teach you how to hold the mitts as well if you are looking to become a mitt holder. Teach you the rules so you can learn to fight through mitt styles. It also has my personal favorite drills. And these are basically the only drills that I work on the mitts with Theo to build his power. So if you want to learn your positions, these drills are just brilliant at that. They're easy, they're repetitive, and you can do them many times. And they're great warm-ups. If you're a coach and you want to learn them and just warming your fighters up, just doing like 20 seconds with each drill, just amazing stuff. Anyway, check it out. Or if you're looking for personal, private coaching, one-on-one, you can check out my Patreon. It's $50 to sign up, $50 a month, and you send in your videos. And I take a look at your training like I take a look at Dimitri Bivol's, Canelo's. I take a look at your training to make you the fighter you want to be. Okay? I take my job very seriously. Okay? So if you join my Patreon, I'm sending you drills the day that you sign up. The day that you send me a message, you send in your videos, I'm already sending you stuff, okay? And also, when you sign up, you get a free double end bag video to teach you how to use the double end bag, to teach you to do the stuff that Bivol can't do, to teach you to do the stuff that Kovalev does. Penduluming on that, going forward, penduluming going backward. Check it out. It's free when you sign up. Also, if you want to learn the best master class for boxing, expert level, check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System. It'll teach you the best ways to get on and off the line. No joke. How to control the line while you do it. And how to set up your punches. It'll teach you the body mechanics. It'll teach you how to get into pendulum. It'll teach you how to really use your body to drive your weight into your opponent. Okay? To drive your weight into your punches. At a level that you didn't think that you could achieve, okay? That's $2.99. If you join my Patreon under the coaching, I'll give you a promo code for 50% off because that's what I want to teach you anyway, okay? So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share the video. Thanks, guys. Oh yeah, stop recording's over here.